Masters of Crime, the 10 most infamous criminal masterminds in history. Throughout the annals of history, there have been individuals whose names have become synonymous with crime and infamy. These are not just ordinary criminals but masterminds who have managed to elude authorities, amass immense wealth, and in some cases, even change the course of history. Their audacious acts, strategic moves, and sheer boldness have earned them a place in the dark hall of fame of the criminal world. While their deeds are by no means commendable, one cannot deny the impact they have had on the world stage. In this list, we delve deep into the lives of 10 such criminal masterminds, shedding light on their ventures and the legacies they've left behind. Number 1. Al Capone, the kingpin of Prohibition-era Chicago. In the early 20th century, the United States underwent a drastic societal experiment, prohibition. While the law aimed to curb alcohol consumption, it inadvertently gave rise to notorious criminals, with Al Capone at the helm. Born in 1899, Capone's ascent to power began when he joined the Chicago outfit. In no time, he became its leader, ensuring the smooth operation of an illegal empire encompassing bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. Under his leadership, the outfit's dominance became unprecedented, with an annual turnover exceeding $100 million. However, Capone's infamy wasn't solely tied to his criminal exploits. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929, where 7 gang members were gunned down, is believed to have been orchestrated by Capone, although he was never charged. Despite his criminal mastery, it was tax evasion that led to his downfall. In 1931, he was sentenced to 11 years, serving most of his time in Alcatraz. Number 2. Franco Bagnail, the master of deception. Portrayed by Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie Catch Me If You Can, Bagnail became notorious as a master of deception. Franco Bagnail's name might not evoke the same level of menace as other criminals, but his cunning and audacity made him one of history's most ingenious fraudsters. Before he reached the age of 22, Bagnail had assumed multiple identities, including that of a Pan Am pilot, without any formal training. He flew over 1,000 hours, hitching rides on planes across 26 countries. Furthermore, his impersonations didn't stop there. He masqueraded as a doctor in a Georgia hospital and even practiced law as a Louisiana parish prosecutor. Bagnail's gift for deception enabled him to forge checks worth millions. However, his criminal escapades caught up with him when he was arrested in France at the age of 21. Number 3. Charles Lucky Luciano, the architect of modern organized crime. Born in Sicily in 1897, Charles Lucky Luciano is often regarded as the mastermind behind the structure of modern organized crime in America. Migrating to the U.S. at a young age, Luciano quickly immersed himself in New York's underworld. His meteoric rise was characterized by a mix of shrewdness and brutality. Luciano's most significant contribution to organized crime was his establishment of the Five Families system in New York. Moreover, he was a key player in forming the National Crime Syndicate, a confederation of crime families across the country. His leadership ushered in the mafia's golden age, marked by increased cooperation between different crime outfits. Luciano's reign, however, was cut short when he was convicted on charges of compulsory prostitution in 1936, leading to a 30 to 50-year sentence. He was later deported to Italy, where he continued his criminal activities until his death in 1962. Number 4. Meyer Lansky, the genius behind crime syndicate finances. Meyer Lansky, often dubbed the mob's accountant, played a pivotal role in the evolution of organized crime in America. Born in 1902 in the Russian Empire, now Belarus, Lansky immigrated to the U.S. in 1911. Partnering with notorious figures like Charles Lucky Luciano, he was instrumental in establishing the National Crime Syndicate. However, what set Lansky apart was not brute force but his financial acumen. He masterminded many of the syndicate's ventures, particularly in the casino industry. Under his guidance, the mafia expanded its reach into glamorous venues in Las Vegas, Florida, and even Havana, Cuba. At his peak, Lansky was rumored to have amassed hundreds of millions. Despite the vast criminal empire, U.S. authorities found it challenging to convict him. He died in 1983, having faced little retribution for his crimes. Number 5. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the escape artist drug lord. Joaquin Guzman, more commonly known as El Chapo, is synonymous with the global drug trade. Born in 1957 in Sinaloa, Mexico, Guzman climbed the criminal ladder to become the head of the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most powerful drug trafficking organizations worldwide. Under his leadership, the cartel smuggled vast amounts of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana into the U.S., raking in billions. Yet, what made El Chapo particularly notorious were his audacious prison escapes. In 2001, he escaped from a high-security prison in a laundry cart. In 2015, he pulled off another escape through a mile-long tunnel from his cell to freedom. However, his reign ended when he was captured in 2016 and extradited to the US in 2017, where he now serves a life sentence. Number 6. Victor Bout, the global gunrunner. Viktor Anatolievich Bout, born in 1967 in Tajikistan, began his career in the Soviet military. But with the USSR's dissolution, Bout saw an opportunity in the chaos and started trafficking arms. He would soon become one of the world's most prolific arms dealers. Using a fleet of cargo planes, Bout moved weapons to hotspots like Angola, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and even to Taliban-controlled areas of Afghanistan. His dealings earned him the title Merchant of Death. Captured in 2008 in Thailand, Bout was later extradited to the US, where he was sentenced to 25 years in prison in 2012. In 2022, having returned from the United States after the prisoner exchange to Russia, Victor Bout became a deputy from the largest Russian party. Number 7. Pablo Escobar, the king of cocaine. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria, born in 1949 in Colombia, is perhaps the most infamous drug lord in history. At the helm of the Medellin cartel, Escobar monopolized the cocaine trade during the 1980s and early 1990s. His operation was so vast that he was said to supply 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the US, amassing an astonishing net worth estimated at $30 billion. Escobar's influence extended beyond narcotics. His immense wealth allowed him to wield incredible power in Colombia, funding public works projects and even offering to clear Colombia's national debt of $10 billion in exchange for immunity from prosecution. However, his empire was built on violence, with thousands killed under his orders. His reign of terror came to an end in 1993 when he was gunned down in a police operation in Medellin. Number 8. Dalwood Ibrahim, the shadowy kingpin of Mumbai. Dalwood Ibrahim Kaskar, born in 1955, stands as one of India's most wanted men. As the mastermind behind D Company, his influence spans a vast criminal underworld dealing in extortion, narcotics, and especially counterfeiting. However, his darkest hour was orchestrating the 1993 Bombay bombings. This meticulously planned terror attack involved 12 separate explosions across the city, resulting in over 250 deaths and immense property damage. Today, he remains elusive, with reports suggesting that he might be living under protection in Pakistan. Number 9. Griselda Blanco, the cocaine godmother. Griselda Blanco, born in Cartagena, Colombia, in 1943, earned her fearsome nicknames Black Widow and La Madrina due to her ruthlessness. Climbing the echelons of the drug trade, she became an integral figure within the Medellin cartel during the 1970s and 80s. Blanco pioneered the cocaine drug trade between Colombia and Florida and was reportedly responsible for up to 200 murders during her reign. Her ruthlessness extended to her personal life, where she allegedly murdered her 3 husbands, earning her the Black Widow moniker. She met her end in 2012, gunned down in Medellin, the city that witnessed much of her bloodshed. Number 10. Semyon Mogilovic, the Russian mafia's brainy don. Born in 1946 in Kiev, Ukraine, Semyon Mogilovic stands as one of the most powerful figures in the Russian underworld. With a mind sharp as a tack, he holds degrees in economics, giving him an edge in orchestrating complex financial frauds. Over the years, his criminal portfolio has diversified to include drug trafficking, arms dealing, and even trading nuclear materials. Dubbed the boss of bosses, Mogilovic is believed to oversee a vast majority of Russian mafia operations globally. His influence is so extensive that he's made the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list.